All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. This time around I got one pretty simple. We're just going to be changing the color on it. Now what we've got here is a Pro Mod style Camaro, roughly around a 2018-ish. At least that's the way the front end is. All that stuff's already been done, so I don't actually have to do anything with the front end. It's all been done up just like a ZL1 Camaro model. Same with the center stripe, same way the ZL1s are done. So all the artwork's done there, all artwork's done in the front. I am gonna add signal lights to the side, just to help make it look more factory. And you'll notice around the windows here, there's a black border. Now, none of these windows on these race cars are ever actually sealed in like on a factory car. So you can't just tape around them and blow paint in there. It'll go right underneath and you'll have overspray on the back side of the window, inside the car. So we always take those windows out and then tape around that edge. Now sometimes we will tape underneath, but in this case there is a kind of a felt piece of fabric to help cushion that window when it's down. So we're going to tape right on top of it because we're not going to take that stuff up. There is a little bit of black I have to fix. There's a little bit of cut throughs in certain places I've got marked with the permanent marker, so I'm going to hit those with the airbrush gun and some black real quick, and then we'll mask all that up before I start painting the entire car. Now you'll notice this car is just in its original paint. There's no primer anywhere. There was nothing to fix because the car is virtually brand new. The paint job was immaculate. I didn't do this paint job. I'm not exactly sure who did it. I got an idea, but they do an excellent job. Very, very good. So all I had to do was sand everything, mask it up like I got it, and we're just gonna put some red on there. We're gonna use Torch Red off the Corvettes. I'll put the paint code in the description for you. We're going to be shooting Deltron base coat, so a solvent base coat on top, and then we're just going to unmask everything and clear it all with a ton of clear coat. That way we can level out that line and do a little bit of buffing, and we can send this thing on out the door. Now something I would like to point out is obviously I've got a lot of this car masked up because we're not putting color on those areas. One thing you need to know and remind yourself all the time is always under tape, never over tape. And I'll show you what I mean. Now if you look right here where the tail lights are, you'll notice a very thin black line around them. And well, somewhat black. But what I've done is I've left a little bit of the edge of that tail light exposed, because I want to make sure that I get color over this color. I don't want any of this color showing back up when I pull that tape off. Same thing up here. Now, this thing had a red pinstripe on the side, but we're painting red almost the same color. You'll see my orange fine line, and you'll also see a little bit of black right on the edge. Now this is true everywhere. Everywhere I've taped it up, I've made sure that I'm going to completely cover this color up. I want to make sure I don't want to pull that tape off and find some gray somewhere. Up in the front here, you'll actually see kind of straightened up a few little lines there. There was a little bit of some extra places here and there. Nobody'd ever know it except for me, since I'm the one sitting here messing with it. But that's the only thing I can tell you is always under tape, never over tape. Now this applies to anything you're painting. If you're painting, if you are taping up a door handle or you're taping up a belt molding on a car, you always want to leave a little bit of an edge. Make sure you get paint on the panel. If you get a little bit on the edge of a molding, well, do a little better taping or just take the damn thing off. All right, they don't get no redder than this. This is Torch Red from GM, WA9075. Like I say, all we did was change the color on this car, so pretty quick and easy, not a whole lot going on. This car was immaculate when it came in here. Now it already had some artwork already done as far as the tail lights. Those are all, that's all airbrushed. Not by me, somebody else did it. Somebody does really, really good work. This is carbon fiber look here that they had done. Really, really killer. Now I did buff and polish everything. Kind of show you in the video there, when I had this thing wrapped up on the passenger side, I had some base coat fly off of the plastic. So it's time to pick base coat out of my first coat of clear, and then basically sprayed some clear all over the plastic to kind of lock down what was still there so I could continue on. But I put 3 coats of VC 5700 on here, and then went back and flattened it all out and buffed it up nice and smooth. You can see the ZL1 emblem there. That's all artwork. Centerpiece done just like the ZL1, but it's all done in the carbon fiber look, just like the rear. And then everything up here is fake. Really, really good airbrushing going on here. And like I say, I did add the signal lights to the car. Nothing real fancy, just put a little silver base down, hit it with some white to make it look like a light bulb is on in there and give it some highlights, and then use a little piece of perforated metal to make those little black dots in there, kind of give it that plastic look like a light typically does. And then shot some orange candy on top of that to give it its color and a little more brilliance when the light hits it. But that's it, nothing fancy. Like I say, not a whole lot to show you. Hopefully you learned a little something. If you did, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and tap that bell. I'll catch you on the next one.